Has been here since the crack of dawn. Ed Wojcicki from Chapwood Capital Investment is here with us. And Uri Man, global market strategist, somewhere really warm. Uri, I don't know.
Yes, nice and warm here in South Florida. You know.
There you go.
I'm sorry for your blizzard.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry for your blizzard, but I'm hoping that it gets some of you on airplanes to come down here and help our economy.
There you go. He's also a host of the Uri Man Review. All right, Ed, we're going to start with you. You think we're going to see big-time IPOs?
Yeah, no question about it. Yeah, absolutely. The IPOs that went out this year, a lot of cases you really have to look under the hood. A lot of these companies didn't want to go public, but they couldn't get financing, and they had to go public. A lot of these companies now are ripe, they're ready to go, and the market looks really good. You had a lot of IPOs that went public out of China. I mean, you probably had 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 in some weeks. But what you're going to start to see are these big companies that are now ripe, ready to go, and the economy is looking a little bit better, not great, so you're going to see these companies go public.
Are we talking about big, large cap companies? I mean, the only thing we talked about last year was GM's $23.1 billion offering, right? Are we going to see more big, large caps going public, or is it these little guys that are going to try to take a shot at it? Can I send that down to you, Uri, in Florida?
Oh, yeah, sorry, couldn't hear you there for a second.
Okay.
Absolutely. What's going on here, let's look at what's happening behind the news here. The venture capitalists are looking at 2011, and while the market looks healthy, it's a huge illusion. It's, you know, Ben Bernanke, Helicopter Ben as we all call him, continues to prop up the market, and these venture capitalists are saying we've got to get these biggest holdings off our books while we can. So I expect that in the first half of 2011, we will see some large IPOs as they try to get rid of some of these companies that are on their books. The reality, that's what's really scary, is that we will see a big correction in 2011 of some sort, whether it's the dollar collapsing or the stock market correcting, and there's really no heroes in Washington who are doing anything to put our economy on the right track to prosperity. So I do think that the beginning of 2011, you'll see some large IPOs, but it's not because the market is healthy. It's a big illusion.
Yeah, you know, Andrew, he makes a great point, because one, you still need good financials, and two, this reminds me so much of the tech bubble, and when everything was going public then, almost just for the sake of going public.
Well, right, and he brought up a good point with politics. I mean, you look to Washington, D.C., we've had tremendous uncertainty. I think one of the greatest sins of the Obama administration. Now that businesses are seeing we're going to have some gridlock, that actually gives them some certainty. So this could be very, very good news. It could mean jobs, but at the end of the day, this administration failed in giving that to us all year long, and we still have a temporary tax code, which you and I have discussed numerous times on Varney and Company. I don't know how businesses can really plan, even just with 2 years for the high earners being extended.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and one that we're certainly going to revisit. All right, one of the worst fears of the bank bailout may become a reality. Almost 100 banks are in jeopardy of, wait for it, failing. Now, these banks received over $4.2 billion of our taxpayer money. Okay, come on. Uri, I'm going back down to Florida with this. What the heck? We give them all this money, and now these banks are failing again?
It's unbelievable. At about $4.2 billion is estimated to go to some of these banks that are just going to go bankrupt. And what a waste of money. What a shame. And the reality is nobody knows how many banks are really in trouble because there's not any transparency. The FDIC is not going to publish the list. Nobody knows which banks are the real banks that are in trouble. And it's disappointing because when these banks fail, it's going to have a devastating effect on the market, and it's likely that we will see some significant failings. Don't forget that the banking sector is a very good indicator of what's happening in the economy, and when you see banks in trouble, lots of them, it's going to be a mess.
The thing is, though, Ed, I will say that some banks did pay the money back,
right?
So there is that.
That's true.
But it's not helping, is it, Ed?
No, it's not helping, and this shouldn't surprise anybody. I mean, we know that the economy is really very fragile. We know that things are not looking very good. And at the same time, things are going to look a little bit worse because we have a lot of adjustable rate mortgages that are coming due. If you look at the bell shape, you know, over the next couple of years, we're going to see twice as many adjustable rate mortgages coming due. All right, and that is not good news for the banks. So just that one sector alone is going to put pressure on the banks. This shouldn't surprise anybody. I think that number is going to be double by the mid part of the year.
Lesson learned. Let's stop giving out free money. Okay, this one's for you, Andrea. I'm sorry. But the most famous bachelor in the world is now off the market. The 84-year-old Hugh Hefner proposed to his, what? 23-year-old girlfriend, Crystal Harris. Now, Hefner made the announcement via Twitter. Come on, Andrea.
Look, I think she knows what she's getting into, and he knows what he's getting into, too. So we all laugh. This is one big joke. Hefner's getting married again. He doesn't have a lot of good years in him left. The Viagra, we don't know if it's still working. She loves hanging around the house, doesn't have to work. She can just hang on his arm. I say they both know what they're doing. Let them get into it.
Yuri, come on now. There's not enough ink in the world for all the prenups she must have signed.
No, I agree with you. I mean, the good news is Hugh's given us something good to talk about today. And if an 84-year-old can get married to a 25-year-old, anything can happen in America. So maybe if our governors, if our legislators have enough of the right drive, they can turn around this economy if they do the right things. I mean, if anything can happen in America like this.
Well, you know what? Your point is valid. This is his third marriage, and his bride-to-be is 60 years younger than him. I got nothing. Ed, Andrea, Yuri, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm old enough to be her mom.
No.
Yeah. All right, there are no free lunches in this world, and there are no short-term cuts for long-term gains. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents more when we come back.
Tonight on Follow